be me. 26-year-old kissless virgin living in mom's basement for the past 4 years after dropping out of community college. My daily routine consists of waking up at 2 p.m., eating chicken nuggets, playing League of Legends until 6 a.m., and occasionally showering when mom threatens to kick me out. Mom finally has enough of my bullshit and forces me to see a therapist because apparently rotting in your room playing video games isn't a sustainable life plan. I try to explain that I'm actually grinding to diamond rank, and that's basically a full-time job, but she's not buying it. She literally unplugs my PC and says, "You're going to therapy or you're going to a homeless shelter. Pick one." I pick therapy because at least it has air conditioning. I'd show up to first appointment wearing my limited edition Ahegao hoodie because all my other clothes smell like a Doritos factory exploded. Receptionist gives me a look like I just committed a war crime. "Hi, I'm here for my 3 p.m. with Dr. Martinez," I mumble while avoiding eye contact. She types on her computer for what feels like 17 years. "Have a seat. She'll be with you shortly." I sit down in the waiting room next to this elderly woman who immediately gets up and moves 3 seats away. Cool, already making great first impressions. Waiting room has these weird abstract paintings that look like someone vomited rainbow spaghetti onto a canvas. There's also a fish tank, but one of the fish is dead and floating at the top, which feels like a bad omen. And after 20 minutes of contemplating my life choices and wondering if it's too late to fake a heart attack, the door opens. Out walks this woman who looks like she's maybe 29 or 30, wearing professional clothes, but in a way that doesn't make her look like a corporate robot. She's actually pretty attractive, like solid 8 out of 10, which immediately makes me want to die because now I have to talk about my failures to someone I find hot. "You must be my 3 o'clock, come on in," she says with this warm smile that makes me suspicious, because nobody is that nice to strangers. I shuffle into her office like a convicted criminal walking to the electric chair. Her office is decorated with plants, more abstract art, and there's a fucking lava lamp on her desk because apparently we're stuck in 2003. "So I'm Dr. Emily Martinez, but you can call me Emily if that makes you more comfortable," she says while gesturing to a chair that looks way too comfortable. I sit down and immediately sink into it like quicksand. This was a mistake. "Your mother called ahead and gave me some background, but I'd like to hear your side of things. What brings you in today?" What brings me in is my mom's threats of homelessness, but I can't say that. I guess I've been having trouble with motivation and stuff, like getting out of bed and doing normal people things. She nods and writes something down on her notepad, which makes me paranoid that she's writing, "Patient is clearly a lost cause." "Tell me about a typical day for you. Walk me through what that looks like." Oh God, here we go. "Well, I usually wake up around 2 p.m., eat whatever's in the fridge, play some video games, browse the internet, eat dinner, play more video games, and then go to sleep around 6 or 7 a.m. She doesn't even blink, just keeps writing. "And how long has this been your routine? Like 4 years maybe? Give or take a few months?" Now she looks up and there's this expression on her face that's half concern, half fascination, like she's discovered a new species of dysfunctional human. 4 years is a significant amount of time. Have you had any social interactions during this period outside of your family? I think about my Discord server, where I argue with 14-year-olds about anime. I mean, I talk to people online. Does that count? It counts as interaction, but I'm curious about face-to-face contact with other people. Not really. No. She writes some more and I'm sweating through my hoodie, even though her office is like 68 degrees. "Okay, so let's talk about goals. What would you like to achieve through therapy?" I want to achieve getting my mom off my back, but again, can't say that. Maybe like getting a job or something. Being more normal, I guess. Being more normal is interesting phrasing. What does normal mean to you? Oh, great. We're doing the philosophical question thing. I don't know, like having a job, friends, not living in my mom's basement, maybe a girlfriend eventually, but that's probably unrealistic. Why do you think having a girlfriend is unrealistic? Because I have the social skills of a moldy potato. I've never really had success with women. Well, I'm not exactly what you'd call attractive or interesting. She leans back in her chair and studies me for a second. "You know, I think you'd be surprised what people find attractive. It's rarely what we assume it is." Is she trying to make me feel better, or is this some kind of therapy technique to build false confidence? I appreciate that, but I'm pretty sure my 4-year streak of not leaving the house hasn't made me more dateable. She laughs, like actually laughs, and it catches me off guard. Fair point, but that's something we can work on. Isolation tends to create a negative feedback loop that reinforces itself. For the next 40 minutes, she asked me questions about my childhood, my interests, my relationship with my parents, and whether I've ever experienced trauma. And I tell her about how I was bullied in high school for liking anime and how I basically retreated into the internet afterwards. I tell her about dropping out of college because I had a panic attack during a presentation and never went back. I tell her about my dad leaving when I was 12 and how I probably have abandonment issues, but I'm not a psychologist, so who knows? She listens to all of it without judgment, just taking notes and occasionally asking follow-up questions. By the end of the session, I feel like I just ran a marathon, emotionally exhausted, but somehow lighter. I think we've made good progress today, she says while checking her watch. We'll start with weekly sessions and work on building some structure into your daily routine. It's small steps first. She hands me a worksheet that has goals written on it like shower 3 times a week and leave the house once a week. These goals are so pathetic they're inspiring. I'd like you to try these and we'll check in next week. How does Tuesday at 3 p.m. sound? Yeah, that works. I don't exactly have a packed schedule. She smiles again and I realize this woman has an incredible patience level. Great, I'll see you next Tuesday then. And hey, one step at a time, okay? I nod and leave her office feeling weird, like maybe this therapy thing isn't complete bullshit. Go home and Mom immediately interrogates me about how it went. It was fine, she seems nice, she gave me homework. Mom looks at the worksheet and her eyes get watery. I'm proud of you for going, honey. Great, now I feel guilty for being such a disappointment that going to therapy makes her cry. That night I actually shower and complete one of my goals, which feels like a major accomplishment. Spend the next week trying to do the bare minimum on the worksheet. I managed to shower twice, leave the house once to get the mail, and I even cleaned some of the pizza boxes out of my room. Tuesday rolls around and I'm actually kind of looking forward to therapy, which is bizarre. Show up wearing a regular hoodie this time. No anime girls, we're making progress, folks. Emily greets me with the same warm energy and we sit down. So how did the homework go? She asks. I show her the worksheet where I checked off like 60% of the goals. This is excellent progress, she says, and she genuinely seems excited. But we spend the session talking about the barriers I face when trying to complete simple tasks. She introduces me to this concept called activation energy, which is basically how much mental effort it takes to start something. Apparently, my activation energy for basic tasks is through the roof because of depression and anxiety. We're going to work on lowering that activation energy through exposure and routine building, she explains. She's using science words which appeals to my gamer brain that likes optimization. For the next few weeks, we do this dance where she gives me slightly harder tasks and I complete most of them. Week 3, I go to the grocery store by myself. Week 4, I apply to 2 jobs online. Week 5, I have a phone interview that goes terribly, but at least I did it. Throughout all of this, Emily is supportive but also pushes me when I'm making excuses. I can't apply to that job, I don't have experience, I say during week 6. You don't need experience for entry-level positions, you're catastrophizing again, she responds. She's right, and I hate it. By week 8, I've actually gotten an interview for a warehouse position that pays $16 an hour. I tell Emily about it, and she does this little celebration gesture with her hands. That's amazing progress. We should practice interview questions. We spend the entire session doing a mock interview, and she gives me tips on eye contact and handshakes. Her hand is soft when we practice the handshake, and I try not to think about it because that's weird. Interview day comes, and I'm sweating through my button-up shirt that Mom bought me from Kohl's. The interview goes okay, not great, but I don't vomit or pass out, so that's a win. They say they'll call me within a week. Go to therapy that Thursday, and Emily asks how it went. I think I bombed it, but I survived. Surviving is half the battle. I'm proud of you regardless of the outcome. Something about the way she says it makes my chest feel warm, and I realize I might be developing feelings, which is very problematic. She's my therapist. She's paid to be nice to me. This is literally her job. I need to get my head straight. Try to push down the feelings, but they keep bubbling up every time I see her. The way she laughs at my jokes, the way she remembers small details I mentioned weeks ago, the way she looks at me like I'm not a complete failure. It's all professional, I know it is. But my stupid touch-starved brain is interpreting basic human kindness as romantic interest. Week 10 arrives and I actually get the warehouse job. They called me back and I start Monday. Emily is thrilled when I tell her. She literally stands up and gives me a high five. Her hand touches mine for exactly 1.2 seconds and my brain short circuits. This is incredible progress. You should be really proud of yourself. I am proud, but I'm also distracted by the fact that she smells like lavender and something else I can't identify. Thanks. I couldn't have done it without these sessions, honestly. You did the hard work. I just provided the framework. We spend the rest of the session talking about workplace anxiety and how to manage it. She gives me strategies for dealing with difficult coworkers and how to set boundaries. Yet as the session wraps up, she does something unexpected. I've been thinking, you've made such substantial progress over these past few months. Yeah, I guess I have. It's weird actually leaving the house regularly now. She pauses and fidgets with her pen, which is unusual because she's normally very composed. I know this might be unconventional, but would you want to grab coffee sometime outside of our sessions? My brain immediately assumes I misheard her. What? Coffee. Like as friends, I think it might be beneficial for you to practice social interaction in a low-stakes environment, and I happen to enjoy coffee. She's saying words, but they're not computing. Is my therapist asking me to hang out? Is that allowed? I ask, because surely there's some kind of rule against this. Well, technically you'd be graduating from therapy soon anyway, since you've met most of your initial goals, so it wouldn't be a conflict of interest. She's thought about this. Oh my God, she's thought about this. Yeah, sure, coffee sounds good. I stammer like an idiot. Great. How about Saturday around 2 p.m.? There's a place called Java Dreams downtown. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Perfect. It's a date then, she says, and then immediately looks flustered. I mean, not a date, just a friend date, an appointment, a coffee appointment. She's rambling and it's adorable, and I'm gonna die. I got it. I'll be there, I say, trying to act normal. Leave the office in a daze. Did that just happen? Did my therapist just ask me to hang out, spend the entire week overthinking every possible outcome of this coffee meeting? And maybe she does this with all her clients to help them practice socializing. Maybe she actually thinks I'm interesting to talk to. Maybe she's going to tell me I'm cured and doesn't want to see me professionally anymore. Maybe this is an elaborate prank and she's going to stand me up. Saturday arrives and I've changed outfits 6 times. Finally settle on jeans and a plain black t-shirt because everything else makes me look like I'm trying too hard. Show up to Java Dreams 15 minutes early because I'm anxious. Order a black coffee and sit at a table near the window. Watch every person who walks in wondering if Emily changed her mind. 2:03 p.m. she walks in wearing casual clothes, jeans and a sweater, hair down instead of her usual professional bun. She looks different, more relaxed, and somehow even prettier, which seems unfair. She spots me and waves, walking over with a smile. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Parking was a nightmare. No worries, I just got here too, I lie. She orders some complicated drink with extra shots and vanilla, and we sit down. So, how's the job going? She asks. We fall into easy conversation about work, my coworkers who are mostly cool, and the fact that I've been forced to develop a normal sleep schedule. She tells me about her other clients without naming names, just funny stories about therapy mishaps. I had someone fall asleep during a session once, just full-on snoring. That's brutal. Did you wake them up? I let them sleep for 10 minutes because honestly they seemed like they needed it. We talk for 2 hours straight and I don't even notice the time passing. She's easy to talk to, well, which I guess makes sense since that's literally her profession, but it feels different outside the office. I have to admit something, she says while stirring her second coffee. Oh no, here it comes, this was a mistake speech. I don't usually do this with clients, even former clients, but you're different. Different how? I ask, my heart doing weird things. You're genuine. Most people put up walls in therapy, but you've been honest from day one, even when it's uncomfortable. I appreciate that. I mean, I was paying you to listen to my problems, might as well be honest about them. Former paying client, you graduated, remember? Right, I did graduate last week. She officially terminated our therapeutic relationship. So what does that make this? I ask carefully. I don't know. 2 people getting coffee? The way she looks at me makes me think she knows exactly what this is, but doesn't want to say it. I can live with that, I respond. We exchange phone numbers and she texts me immediately so I have hers. Text me sometime, we could do this again. Yeah, I'd like that. We say goodbye and I walk back to my car feeling like I'm floating. Spend the entire drive home replaying the conversation in my head. My mom is waiting when I get home. Where were you? You're never out this late. It's 5 p.m. This is what constitutes late now. I was getting coffee with a friend. A friend? What friend? You don't have friends. Thanks, Mom. Really appreciate the vote of confidence. My therapist, well, former therapist, we're friends now, I guess. Mom's eyes go wide like I just told her I joined a cult. Your therapist? Isn't that inappropriate? She terminated our professional relationship first, so it's fine. Mom doesn't look convinced, but she drops it. That night, Emily texts me. Had a great time today. We should do it again soon. I stare at the message for a full minute before responding. Yeah, definitely. Let me know when you're free. She sends back a smiley face emoji and I screenshot it like a psychopath. Over the next few weeks, we text semi-regularly. Nothing too intense, just memes, occasional check-ins, and random thoughts. She sends me a picture of a cat she saw that looks exactly like the depression cat meme. I send her a screenshot of me finally hitting diamond in League, and she responds with, I have no idea what this means, but congratulations. 3 weeks after our first coffee hangout, she asks if I want to grab dinner. And a dinner feels more serious than coffee, like we're escalating this thing, whatever it is. Sure, where did you have in mind? There's this Thai place I love, nothing fancy, very casual. We meet at the restaurant on a Wednesday night. She's wearing a dress this time, nothing too fancy, but definitely more effort than coffee casual. I wore the only nice shirt I own that doesn't have stains. Dinner goes amazing. We talk about everything from childhood trauma to our favorite TV shows. She's into true crime documentaries, which explains a lot about her career choice. I think I became a therapist because I'm fascinated by why people do what they do. She explains between bites of pad thai. That's actually kind of cool. I became a NEET because I was scared of everything. Former NEET, you have a job now, remember? Former NEET? Yeah, you're right. After dinner, we walk around the downtown area for a bit. It's nice out, early fall weather, and the streets are busy with people. Can I ask you something personal? She says suddenly. More personal than me telling you about my crippling fear of human interaction? Fair point. Okay, so is this weird for you, hanging out with me? Honestly, a little bit. Yeah, but good weird, not bad weird. Good weird, I can work with that. We stop in front of her car and there's this moment where neither of us knows what to say. I had a really nice time tonight, she says. Me too, we should do this again. We absolutely should. She hugs me goodbye and it lasts a few seconds longer than a friendly hug should. Drive home with the biggest stupid grin on my face. But my mom is asleep, so I don't have to explain why I look like I just won the lottery. Lay in bed replaying every moment of the evening. Emily texts me before I fall asleep. Thank you for tonight. You're really easy to talk to. You too. Thanks for giving a former basement dweller a chance. Everyone deserves a chance. Good night. Fall asleep feeling hopeful for the first time in years. Over the next month, we hang out 4 more times. Movies, more coffee, a bookstore trip where she bought like 6 true crime books, and once we just drove around listening to music. Each time feels more comfortable, more natural, like we're actually building something real. My coworkers notice I'm in a better mood. Dude, you're like smiling and shit. What happened? Asks my supervisor, who's cool for a 35-year-old. I met someone. No way. Yeah, was she hot? I show him a picture from our bookstore trip. Bro, she's out of your league. I'm aware, trust me. Things are going great until week 6 of hanging out. We're at her apartment watching a movie. This is the first time she's invited me to her place. Apartment is exactly what you'd expect. Lots of plants, minimalist furniture, several cats. You didn't tell me you had cats? I say as 3 of them immediately surround me. Oh yeah, I have 4. Hope you're not allergic. I'm mildly allergic, but I'll suffer through it. We're watching some horror movie she picked, and I'm trying to focus, but I'm hyper aware that we're sitting pretty close on the couch. About halfway through the movie, she leans her head on my shoulder. I freeze like a deer in headlights. Is this happening? What do I do with my arm? And I carefully put my arm around her and she snuggles closer. My heart is beating so hard I'm worried she can hear it. We stay like that for the rest of the movie, and I don't process a single scene. When the credits roll, she sits up and looks at me. I need to tell you something, she says, and her tone is serious. Oh no, here comes the rejection. Okay, I manage to say. I like you, like more than friends like you, and I know this probably breaks some kind of ethical code since I was your therapist, but I can't help how I feel. My brain has stopped functioning. Did she just say she likes me? You're really not saying anything and it's making me nervous. She laughs awkwardly. Sorry, I like you too. And I have for a while now, but I didn't think you'd ever see me as anything other than a patient. You were never just a patient to me. And then she kisses me. My first kiss at 26 years old is with my former therapist in her apartment surrounded by cats. It's gentle and sweet, and when we pull apart, I'm pretty sure I've died and gone to heaven. Was that okay? She asks. That was very okay. We kiss again, and this time it's less gentle, more urgent. My face when my former therapist became my girlfriend, and I have no idea how to tell my mom without her thinking I'm insane. That feeling when you realize the universe has a weird sense of humor and sometimes therapy leads to romance. Be me. 26-year-old former NEET, now dating my ex-therapist, and my entire life feels like a fever dream. It's been 2 weeks since the kiss that altered my brain chemistry forever. Emily and I have been seeing each other regularly, but we haven't told anyone yet. Because how do you even explain this situation? Hey, Mup, remember that therapist you forced me to see? Yeah, we're dating now. Sounds absolutely unhinged. We're taking it slow, which is good because I have zero experience with relationships and she knows this. Tonight we're supposed to have dinner at a nice restaurant, like actual nice, not Applebee's nice. I'm freaking out because I've never been to a fancy restaurant and I don't know which fork to use for what. Emily texts me, wear something nice but not too formal. Yeah, we're not going to the Met Gala. I don't own anything that fits this description. Emergency text my mom asking if I can borrow Dad's old sport coat from before he left. She brings it to my room looking suspicious as hell. Why do you need your father's jacket? You never go anywhere that requires a jacket. I have a work thing, I lie badly. A work thing at the warehouse? Since when does warehouse work require a sport coat? She's got me there. Fine, it's a date, okay? I'm going on a date. Mom drops the jacket and her mouth falls open. A date? With who? When did you start dating? Why didn't you tell me? Because it's new and I didn't want to make it weird. How new? Like this week new? Like 2 weeks new? Maybe a month if you count the hanging out period. She sits on my bed looking shocked. Honey, that's wonderful. But what's her name? How did you meet? Oh God, I'm not ready for the interrogation. Her name is Emily and we met through mutual friends. I lie again because we met when you forced me into therapy. Seems problematic. I want to meet her. Bring her to dinner this Sunday. Absolutely not. That's a terrible idea. It's really new, Mom. Maybe in a few months? Fine, but I expect details when you get home tonight. She leaves and I put on the sport coat, which smells like Old Spice and broken dreams. It actually fits pretty well considering Dad was roughly my build before he abandoned us. Emily picks me up at 7 p.m. sharp, looking absolutely stunning in a black dress. Wow, you clean up nice, she says when I get in the car. You look amazing, I respond, and immediately feel like that was too simple. Yeah, we drive to this Italian place called Rossetti's that looks expensive from the outside. I hope this isn't too much. I just wanted to take you somewhere nice, she says while parking. No, it's perfect. I'm just worried I'll embarrass myself with the fancy silverware. She laughs and grabs my hand. Just work from the outside in. You'll be fine. We walk in and the hostess seats us at a corner table with candles and everything. This is the most romantic thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm trying not to panic. Waiter comes over and asks if we want wine. Emily orders a bottle of red, something I can't pronounce. I nod along, pretending I know anything about wine. So I've been thinking, Emily says after the waiter leaves. Uh-oh, thinking is never good. We should probably talk about us, like what we're doing here. Okay, well, what are we doing here? I really like you, obviously, but I want to make sure we're on the same page about expectations. I like you too, a lot actually, probably more than is normal for someone who's known you for a few months. She smiles and reaches across the table to hold my hand. I don't want to rush anything. I know this is your first relationship and I want it to be good. It's already good, like really good. Better than I ever thought possible. We're having this sweet moment when suddenly I hear a familiar voice behind me. Oh my God, is that you? I turn around and it's Derek, this guy I went to high school with. Derek was one of the people who made my life hell, constant bullying about anime and video games. Derek, hey, I say weakly. He walks over with his girlfriend who looks bored. Dude, I haven't seen you since graduation. What have you been up to? Working, living life, the usual. Derek looks at Emily and his eyes get wide. And who's this lovely lady? This is Emily, my girlfriend. Saying girlfriend out loud feels surreal. Girlfriend? Wow, good for you, man. I didn't think you'd ever... He trails off, realizing how rude that sounds. Emily gives him a polite smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Nice to meet you, Derek. We were just in the middle of dinner. Oh, yeah, totally. My bad. We should catch up sometime, though. Here's my card. He hands me a business card that says he's a pharmaceutical sales rep. Of course he is. They leave and I'm sitting there feeling weird. Ex-friend? Emily asks. More like ex-bully. We went to high school together and he made my life pretty miserable. Well, he seems like a tool. Forget about him. Dinner proceeds normally after that. The food is incredible and Emily tells me stories about her worst therapy clients. I had this one guy who was convinced he was being followed by the CIA because he figured out the secret to free energy. Was he? He was not. He was just very paranoid and possibly unmedicated. We laugh and share tiramisu for dessert. The bill comes and it's $140, which makes my eyes water, but Emily insists on splitting it. I asked you out. I'm paying, she argues. I'm the guy. I should pay, I counter weakly. It's 2025. Gender roles are dead. We're splitting it. We split it, and I make a mental note to pick up extra shifts at the warehouse. After dinner, we drive to this overlook spot she knows that has a view of the city. We park and just sit there looking at the lights. Thank you for tonight, I say. Thank you for being you, she responds. We start making out in the car like teenagers, and it's incredible. Things are getting heated when suddenly there's a knock on the window. We both jump, and I look up to see a cop with a flashlight. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Emily rolls down the window looking flustered. Evening, officer, is there a problem? Park closes at 10 p.m., folks. You're going to need to move along. I check the time, and it's 10:47 p.m. So sorry, officer. We lost track of time, Emily says sweetly. The cop looks at both of us and smirks. I'm sure you did. Have a good night, you two. He walks away, and we both burst out laughing. Oh my God, that was mortifying, Emily says. And I thought we were going to get arrested for public indecency or something. We weren't even being that indecent. Not yet anyway, I say, and immediately regret it. She looks at me with this expression I can't read. Was that too much? Sorry, that was probably too much. I backpedal. No, it wasn't too much. Come here. We kiss again and she whispers, maybe we should go back to my place. My brain short circuits for the second time tonight. Are you sure? I'm sure if you're sure. I'm very sure, but I should probably tell you I've never, I know. We'll take it slow, no pressure. We drive back to her apartment and I'm trying to control my breathing. This is happening. This is actually happening. We get inside and her cats immediately swarm us. Yeah, let me feed them real quick or they'll never leave us alone. While she's feeding the cats, I'm standing in her living room having a mild panic attack. She comes back and takes my hand. Hey, we don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with? No, I want to. I'm just nervous. That's normal. Come on. She leads me to her bedroom, which I've never been in before. It's very her, organized but cozy, more plants, fairy lights. We sit on the bed and she kisses me softly. Just follow my lead, okay? What follows is the most awkward, yet somehow beautiful experience of my life. I won't go into details because my mom might see this somehow, but afterwards we're laying there and I feel like a completely different person. You okay? She asks. I'm more than okay. That was incredible. It gets better with practice, she teases. And I stay over and wake up the next morning to her cat sitting on my chest staring at me. Emily is still asleep next to me and this feels like a dream. Carefully move the cat and check my phone. 47 missed calls from mom. Oh no, there's also a string of increasingly panicked texts. Where are you? Are you okay? If you don't text me back, I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police. Shit. I text her quickly. I'm fine, stayed at a friend's house, phone died. Sorry. She responds immediately. You've been at a friend's house? What friend? You don't have friends. Why does she keep saying that? The friend I went to dinner with. I'll explain when I get home. Emily wakes up and sees me frantically texting. Everything okay? My mom thinks I'm dead because I didn't come home last night. Oh no, you should have told me. Yet you could have called her from here. It's fine. I'm 26. I don't need to check in with my mom, I say. But I absolutely needed to check in with my mom. Emily makes us breakfast and we eat while her cats judge us. So I was thinking, do you want to make this official? Like boyfriend, girlfriend official? She asks. I thought we already were official. I mean like social media official, meeting friends official, all of it. The thought of posting about this on social media makes me anxious but also excited. Yeah, let's do it. We take a selfie together and she posted on Instagram with the caption, New Adventure Unlocked. I don't have Instagram, so I just like it from the account I made in 2019 and never used. Drive home around noon and mom is waiting at the door like an angry sentinel. Where have you been? I was worried sick. I told you I stayed at a friend's house. You could have called, you could have texted, you disappeared for 12 hours. My phone died and I'm an adult mom. I don't need a curfew. She looks hurt and I feel guilty. I'm sorry, I should have let you know. That was inconsiderate. I just worry about you, honey. You're finally doing well and I don't want anything to mess that up. Nothing's gonna mess it up, I promise. We hug it out and she goes back to watching her cooking shows. Monday at work, my supervisor pulls me aside. So how'd the date go? He asks with a shit-eating grin. It went really well, actually. Did you seal the deal? I must turn bright red because he starts laughing. Oh shit, you did. My man. Can we not discuss this at work? Fine, but I'm happy for you, dude. You've been way less depressed lately. Work goes by quickly and Emily texts me during my lunch break. Dinner at my place tonight? I'm making pasta. Sounds perfect. What time? 7 p.m. Bring wine if you want. I stop at the liquor store after work and stare at the wine section like it's written in hieroglyphics. An employee notices me struggling. Looking for anything specific? Red wine that goes with pasta but isn't too expensive. I got you. He hands me a bottle that's $15 and promises it's decent. Show up at Emily's at 7 p.m. with wine and flowers I bought from the grocery store. She opens the door in sweatpants and a t-shirt looking adorable. You brought flowers. You're so sweet. We eat dinner and watch a documentary about a cult that ended badly. Do you ever worry that therapy is kind of like a cult, I ask? But how high are you right now? I'm not high, I'm serious. Like you pay someone to tell you how to live your life and you trust them completely. Okay, but therapy helps people. Cults hurt people. Big difference. Fair point. We're cuddling on the couch when my phone rings. It's a number I don't recognize. Hello? Hey man, it's Derek. From the restaurant the other night. Why is he calling me? Oh hey, what's up? I wanted to invite you and your girlfriend to a party I'm having this Saturday. Kind of a reunion thing with people from high school. Absolutely not. I don't know, man. I'm not really in touch with anyone from high school. That's the point. It'll be fun, plus I want to make up for being a dick back in the day. Emily is watching me and mouths, "Who is it?" I cover the phone and whisper, "Derek." He's inviting us to a party. She shrugs like, "Why not?" Sure. Yeah, we can come. Awesome. I'll text you the details. It's going to be at my place, nothing too crazy. He hangs up and I immediately regret agreeing. Why did I say yes to that? Because it might be good for you to face your past, Emily says in therapist mode. I thought you weren't my therapist anymore. I'm not, but old habits die hard. Saturday comes faster than I want it to. Emily picks me up and we drive to Derek's house, which is in a nice suburb. Remember, we don't have to stay long if you're uncomfortable, she says. We walk in and there's like 30 people there, most of whom I vaguely recognize. Derek greets us enthusiastically. You made it. Come in. There's drinks in the kitchen. We walk in and immediately I see Ashley. But my high school crush who rejected me junior year. She's talking to Brad, the quarterback who dated her after me. This is a nightmare. Emily notices my discomfort and squeezes my hand. Want to get a drink? We go to the kitchen and I pour myself a very large amount of whiskey. Easy there, we have to drive home, Emily warns. You can drive, I need this. We mingle awkwardly and people keep asking what I've been up to. Working in a warehouse, living life, becomes my standard response. Ashley eventually corners me by the snack table. Oh my God, hi, I haven't seen you in forever. Hey Ashley, how have you been? Good, I'm actually engaged now. She shows me a ring. Congratulations, that's great. And who's this? She asks, looking at Emily. This is my girlfriend Emily. Emily shakes her hand and I can see her sizing Ashley up. So how did you two meet? Ashley asks. Oh boy, here we go. Mutual friends, I say quickly. That's so sweet. You guys are cute together. She walks away and Emily leans in. Was that the girl? What girl? The high school crush. I can read people remember? Yeah, that was her, but I'm over it now. Good, because she's engaged and you're with me. The party continues and people keep approaching me, surprised I'm doing well. Apparently the rumor was that I had become a shut-in loser, which I mean I did, but I'm better now. Derek makes a toast around 10 p.m. I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming. It's been too long since we all hung out. Everyone cheers and drinks. And I especially want to apologize to anyone I was a dick to in high school, including you, man, he points at me. Everyone looks at me and I want to die. Yet I was young and stupid and I'm sorry. People clap and I awkwardly wave. Emily whispers, that was big of him. I guess. We leave around 11 p.m. and I'm slightly drunk. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, I admit. See? Facing your past can be healing. Okay, therapist. Former therapist. We go back to her place and I end up staying over again. Sunday morning, my mom calls. Where are you again? I'm at Emily's. We're having breakfast. There's a long pause. You've been spending a lot of time at Emily's lately. Yeah, we're dating Mom. That's what people do. I know, but I still haven't met her, and it's been over a month now. Emily overhears this and takes the phone. "Hi, Mrs. Patterson. This is Emily." I try to grab the phone back, but she dodges me. "Yes, I'm the girlfriend. I'd love to meet you. How about dinner this week?" "Oh, no. They chat for a few minutes while I have a panic attack. She hands the phone back. "We're having dinner with your mom on Wednesday." "You didn't have to do that." "I want to meet her. Plus, she seems nice." "She's going to interrogate you and ask inappropriate questions." "I've dealt with worse. I'll be fine." Wednesday arrives and I'm a nervous wreck. Emily comes to pick me up and Mom answers the door. "You must be Emily. Come in, come in." They hug and I'm standing there like a third wheel. Mom made pot roast, which is her specialty. We sit down and immediately the interrogation begins. "So, Emily, what do you do for work?" "I'm a therapist. I have my own practice downtown." Mom's eyes light up. "A therapist? That's wonderful. What kind of therapy?" "Mostly cognitive behavioral therapy. And anxiety and depression treatment, that sort of thing." I'm sweating because I know where this is going. "That's so interesting. You know, my son went to therapy earlier this year. Really helped him turn his life around." "I've heard. It's great when people find the right support system." They continue chatting and I'm just eating pot roast in silence. "So how did you two meet exactly?" Mom asks. Emily and I make eye contact. "We met through a mutual connection, just kind of hit it off," Emily says smoothly. "Well, I'm just glad my son found someone. I was starting to worry he'd be alone forever." "Mom." "What? It's true. You spent 4 years in that basement." Emily laughs and I sink into my chair. Dinner goes surprisingly well and Mom seems to really like Emily. After Emily leaves, Mom pulls me aside. "She's lovely, honey. You did good." "Thanks, Mom. Although she seems a bit older than you." "She's 31. It's not that much older." "I'm not judging. Older women are more mature. That's good for you." "Please stop talking." The next few weeks are blissful. Work is going well. My relationship is going well. Even my mom is being less overbearing. Then one day I'm at the warehouse and I get a call from an unknown number. "Hello? Hi, is this the former patient of Dr. Emily Martinez?" My blood runs cold. "Who's asking?" "This is the state licensing board. We've received a complaint about Dr. Martinez and we're conducting an investigation." "What kind of complaint?" "We can't discuss details, but we need to ask you some questions about your therapeutic relationship with her." Oh shit. And okay, what do you want to know? They asked me about when our sessions ended, when we started dating, whether she ever acted inappropriately during therapy. I answer honestly because lying seems worse. After 20 minutes, they thank me and hang up. I immediately call Emily. "Someone filed a complaint with the licensing board about us." She's quiet for a second. "I know, they called me this morning." "What's going to happen?" "I don't know. They're investigating whether I violated ethics rules by dating a former patient." "This is my fault. I should have never." "Stop. This isn't your fault. We both made this choice." "Who would file a complaint?" "I have an idea, but I can't prove it." We agree to talk more in person. Turns out one of Emily's colleagues saw her Instagram post and reported her out of professional jealousy. Yet the investigation takes 2 months. During that time, Emily is stressed beyond belief, and I feel guilty constantly. Finally, we get the results. Because she formally terminated our therapeutic relationship before we started dating and waited an appropriate amount of time, she didn't violate any rules. She's cleared but warned to be more careful in the future. We celebrate by going to dinner at the same Italian place from our first date. "I can't believe we almost lost everything because of a jealous coworker," she says. "But we didn't. We're okay." "We're more than okay. My face when dating your therapist almost cost her license, but you made it through anyway." That feeling when you realize love is worth fighting for, even when the universe throws bureaucratic obstacles at you. Be me. 27 years old now, been dating Emily for almost a year, and everything is somehow not a complete disaster. We survived the licensing board investigation, my mom's endless questions, and even Derek's reunion party. Life has settled into this weird, comfortable routine where I have a job, a girlfriend, and actual responsibilities. It's terrifying, but also kind of amazing. Emily and I are at her apartment on a random Tuesday night watching some cooking competition show. She's in my lap and we're arguing about which contestant deserves to win. The blonde lady clearly has better technique, she insists. Technique doesn't matter if your food tastes like cardboard, the beard guy is obviously superior. We're in the middle of this very important debate when she sits up suddenly. "I need to tell you something." Oh no. Those words never lead anywhere good. "Okay, what's up?" So my lease is up in 2 months and my landlord is raising the rent by $400. That's insane. Can he do that? Apparently yes, and I've been thinking maybe it's time to look for a new place. That makes sense. Do you want help looking? She takes a deep breath. Actually, I was wondering if maybe you'd want to look together, like for us. My brain stops working. Wait, are you asking me to move in with you? Only if you want to, no pressure. I just thought since we've been together almost a year and we basically spend every night together anyway, it might make sense. She's rambling, which means she's nervous. I would love to move in with you, I say, and her face lights up. Really? You're sure? Because it's a big step and I don't want you to feel pressured. I'm sure. Yeah, let's do it. We kiss, and I'm excited but also panicking internally because I've never lived with a romantic partner before. The next day I have to tell my mom. She's in the kitchen making lunch when I drop the bomb. So Emily and I are going to get an apartment together. She drops the spatula. You're moving out? When? Where? Why didn't you discuss this with me first? Mom, I'm 27. I don't need permission to move out. I know, but this is sudden. You've only been dating for a year. Almost a year. And it feels right. She sits down looking emotional. My baby is growing up. I grew up like 15 years ago. I just had a delayed launch. We spend the next hour talking about logistics, and she gets weirdly excited about helping me shop for furniture. Emily and I spend the next few weeks looking at apartments. And most of them are either too expensive, too small, or in neighborhoods that look like crime scene waiting to happen. Finally, we find a 2-bedroom place that's in our budget and doesn't smell like death. It's perfect, Emily says during the viewing. It's got brown carpet and the bathroom tiles are from 1987, I point out. That's called character. We put in an application and somehow get approved. Moving day is chaos. Mom shows up with my childhood photos and starts crying. I remember when you were this small, she sobs while holding a picture of me at age 5. Mom, please, you're embarrassing me in front of the movers. Emily's parents also show up, and this is the first time I'm meeting them. Her dad is this tall, intimidating guy who used to be in the military. So you're the boyfriend, he says while crushing my hand in a handshake. Yes, sir, nice to meet you. Emily speaks highly of you, says you've got a good work ethic. I try my best. Her mom is sweet and keeps offering everyone sandwiches she made. By 6 p.m., everything is moved in and both sets of parents leave. Emily and I collapse on our new couch that we bought from IKEA. We did it. We're officially living together, she says. This is insane. A year ago, I was living in my mom's basement, and now I'm cohabitating. Character development. The first week of living together is an adjustment. I learned that Emily is messy, like really messy, which is shocking for someone whose career involves having her shit together. Why are there 47 coffee mugs on the counter? I ask on day 3. I was going to wash them. When? When the apartment gets condemned by the health department. You're being dramatic. I also learned that she talks in her sleep and occasionally screams, which is terrifying. First time it happens, I wake up at 3 a.m. to her yelling, "The ducks are escaping!" What ducks? I yell back. She's still asleep. The next morning I ask her about it. I don't remember any ducks. I think you dreamed it. You literally screamed about escaping ducks at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, I have very vivid dreams. I should have warned you about that. Despite the quirks, living together is mostly great. We establish a routine where I make breakfast and she makes dinner. I do the dishes and she does the laundry because I can't be trusted not to turn everything pink. 2 months into living together, I get a promotion at work. But my supervisor calls me into his office looking serious. So we're opening a new warehouse across town and we need a shift supervisor. Okay, cool. Who are you thinking? You, if you want it. I stare at him waiting for the punchline. Me? Are you sure? You've been reliable, you show up on time, you don't complain, and the other guys respect you. What's the pay? $22 an hour plus benefits. That's a $6 raise. I could actually save money now. Yes, absolutely, I'll take it. Go home and tell Emily, who screams and jumps into my arms. I'm so proud of you. We're celebrating tonight. She makes reservations at an expensive steakhouse and we dress up. During dinner, she raises her glass. To my boyfriend, the shift supervisor. To my girlfriend who made all of this possible. We clink glasses and some guy at the next table gives us a dirty look for being too loud. Don't care, I'm thriving. The new position starts next week and I'm nervous but excited. First day as supervisor, I have to do a morning meeting with the team. There's 15 guys on my shift and they're all looking at me skeptically. Hey, everyone, I'm your new supervisor. I know most of you already, but for those who don't, I'm here to make sure we hit our targets and nobody dies. One guy raises his hand. Yeah? Are you going to be one of those supervisors who power trips? No, I'm going to be one of those supervisors who leaves you alone if you do your job. They seem satisfied with that answer. The job is harder than I expected. There's lots of paperwork and dealing with people's complaints. But I'm good at it somehow, probably because therapy taught me how to deal with difficult emotions. 3 months into the supervisor gig, Emily drops another bomb. We're having dinner at home when she gets this nervous look. I have something to ask you and I don't want you to freak out. That's a great way to make me freak out. Okay, so you know how I've always wanted to travel? Yes? There's a conference in Barcelona in 2 months about trauma-informed therapy, and I was thinking we could go together, make it a vacation. Barcelona as in Spain, Barcelona? That's the one. I've never been on a plane before. I know, but think about it. We could see the Sagrada Familia, eat tapas, drink wine. Yes, it would be amazing. The thought of flying terrifies me, but the thought of disappointing her terrifies me more. Okay, let's do it. Really? Oh my God, you're going to love it. She immediately starts planning and I immediately start panicking. The next 2 months are a blur of passport applications, flight bookings, and me watching videos about plane crashes. You need to stop watching those, Emily says while catching me on YouTube at 2 a.m. I'm just preparing myself for all possible outcomes. The possible outcome is we have a great trip. Now come to bed. Day of the flight arrives and I'm a wreck. We get to the airport 3 hours early because Emily is paranoid about missing flights. Going through security is humiliating because I set off the metal detector twice. Sir, do you have any metal objects in your pockets? Just my anxiety. The TSA agent does not find this funny. We finally get to the gate and I'm sweating through my shirt. Emily holds my hand. You're going to be fine. Millions of people fly every day. Millions of people also die every day. Not from flying, from being dramatic, which you're about to do. We board the plane and I have the window seat, which is both cool and terrifying. During takeoff, I grip the armrest so hard Emily has to pry my fingers off. You're cutting off circulation to my hand. Sorry, I'm just processing the fact that we're in a metal tube flying at 500 miles per hour. Once we're at cruising altitude, I calm down slightly. The flight is 10 hours and I watch 4 movies, eat 2 terrible meals, and don't sleep at all. Emily sleeps like a baby the entire time, which seems unfair. We land in Barcelona, and I'm exhausted but excited. The city is beautiful, all old architecture and winding streets. Our hotel is in the Gothic Quarter, and it's amazing. This is incredible, I say while looking out the window. Told you it would be worth it. We spend the next week exploring, eating way too much food, and Emily attends her conference during the days. I wander around the city alone, which is both scary and liberating. One day I'm at Park Güell taking photos when someone taps my shoulder. I turn around and it's Ashley, my high school crush. What are the odds? Oh my God, hi! What are you doing here? She asks, looking shocked. Vacation with my girlfriend, you? Honeymoon. I just got married last week. She shows me photos on her phone and introduces me to her husband, who seems nice. We chat for a few minutes and exchange the usual pleasantries. You seem really happy, she says. I am. Life turned out pretty good. I'm glad. You deserve it. We say goodbye and I go back to the hotel feeling weird. Tell Emily about the encounter. That's wild. What are the chances? I know, right? But it was fine. I didn't feel anything. Good, because you're stuck with me now. On our last night in Barcelona, we go to this rooftop restaurant. The view is insane. You can see the whole city lit up. We're eating dessert when Emily gets quiet. I want to ask you something. Okay, shoot. She pulls out a small box and my heart stops. I know this is unconventional and technically the guy is supposed to do this, but we've never been conventional. She opens the box and there's a ring. Will you marry me? I'm completely frozen. Emily asking me to marry her was not on my 2025 bingo card. You don't have to answer right now if you're not ready. She starts backpedaling. Yes. What? Yes, I'll marry you, absolutely yes. She starts crying and puts the ring on my finger. It's simple, silver with a small black stone. I love you so much, she says. I love you too, this is insane. We kiss and the other diners at the restaurant start clapping. Spend the rest of the night in a happy daze. The flight back to the US feels different, like everything has changed, but in a good way. When we land, we have to tell people. I call my mom from the airport. Hey, we're back. How was the trip? Amazing. Also, I'm engaged. Silence. Mom? You're what? Engaged. Emily proposed. She proposed to you? The woman proposes now? What is happening? It's 2025, Mom. Gender roles are dead, remember? She starts crying happy tears and demands we come over immediately. We go to my mom's house and she has a bottle of champagne ready. I can't believe my baby is getting married. I'm 27, Mom. I'm not a baby. You'll always be my baby. She insists on throwing us an engagement party, which sounds awful, but I agree. The party is the following weekend and it's everyone we know. My coworkers, Emily's friends, both sets of parents, even Derek shows up somehow. Dude, congrats, he says while giving me a bro hug. Thanks for coming. Wouldn't miss it. You and Emily are relationship goals, honestly. That's weird to hear from someone who used to throw my backpack in the trash. During the party, Mom makes a toast. I remember when this boy was living in my basement playing video games 24/7, and now look at him. Everyone laughs, and I hide my face. I'm so proud of the man you've become, and Emily, thank you for seeing what I always knew was there. I'm not crying. There's just something in my eye. Emily's dad also makes a toast. When Emily first told me about you, I was skeptical, but you've proven yourself to be a good man. I take it back. You've proven yourself to be an excellent man who makes my daughter happy. Welcome to the family. We shake hands and he pulls me into a hug. After the party, we go home exhausted. That was intense, I say while collapsing on the couch. Your mom telling everyone about the basement years was pretty funny. I'm glad my past failures are entertainment. Hey, you're not a failure, but look at everything you've accomplished. She's right. I have a job I'm good at, an apartment, a fiancé, and I haven't had a panic attack in months. When should we start planning the wedding? She asks. Maybe next year? I need time to process that this is actually happening. Next year works. Gives us time to save money too. We spend the rest of the night looking at wedding venues online. Everything is either too expensive or looks like a barn. What if we just do something small, I suggest? Like how small? Like immediate family and close friends, maybe 30 people max. I love that idea, intimate and personal. We start planning a simple ceremony at a botanical garden. Over the next few months, life continues to improve. I get another raise at work, we adopt a dog from the shelter, and then Emily starts writing a book about therapy techniques. The dog is a rescue pit bull named Meatball, who is the sweetest creature alive. This is Meatball? I ask when we first see him at the shelter. Look at his face, he's perfect. Meatball does have a very cute face despite looking like he could eat someone. We take him home and he immediately becomes obsessed with Emily, follows her everywhere, sleeps in our bed, cries when she leaves for work. I think the dog loves you more than me, I observe. That's not true, he loves us equally. Meatball is currently sitting on Emily's lap and growling at me. He's protecting me, she explains. From what? I live here. Despite the jealousy, Meatball grows on me. He's great for walks and gives me an excuse to get outside more. 6 months before the wedding, Emily suggests couples counseling. That we're already getting married, why do we need counseling? Premarital counseling is different. It helps couples discuss expectations and potential conflicts. Isn't that ironic since you're a therapist? I can't be objective about my own relationship. That's why we need someone else. We start seeing this older therapist named Dr. Walsh, who has been married for 40 years. He asks us questions about finances, kids, career goals, all the serious stuff. Do you want children? He asks during session 2. Emily and I look at each other. We haven't really discussed it, she admits. Maybe eventually, I offer. Maybe eventually isn't a plan, you need to be on the same page about this. We spend the next session talking about hypothetical children. I think I'd want kids in a few years, Emily says. Yeah, I'm open to it, but I'm also terrified. Of what? Of being a bad dad, of messing them up, of repeating my father's mistakes. Dr. Walsh nods sympathetically. Those are valid fears, but fear shouldn't prevent you from making decisions. We eventually agree that we'll revisit the kid conversation in 2 years. Wedding planning intensifies as the date approaches. Emily is stressed about every detail while I'm just excited to be married. What do you think about these centerpieces? She asks, showing me 2 identical-looking flower arrangements. They're both nice? You're not even looking. Babe, they literally look the same. One has roses and one has peonies, completely different. I learn to just agree with whatever she picks. Week before the wedding, I'm having drinks with my supervisor and some work friends. You ready to become a married man? Supervisor asks. As ready as I'll ever be. Marriage is great. You get a permanent teammate for life. Or a permanent cellmate, depending on how you look at it, one of the other guys jokes. We all laugh, but I'm genuinely excited. Wedding day arrives, and I'm surprisingly calm. We're getting ready in separate rooms at the botanical garden. My mom is crying before the ceremony even starts. You look so handsome in your suit. Thanks, Mom. I can't believe you're getting married. It feels like yesterday you were playing Pokemon in the basement. That was like 18 months ago. Exactly. Time flies. The ceremony is beautiful. All our favorite people in one place. Emily walks down the aisle in a simple white dress, and I definitely cry a little. The officiant does the whole "we are gathered here today" speech. We wrote our own vows, which was Emily's idea. I promise to love you even when you leave 47 coffee mugs on the counter, I say, and everyone laughs. I promise to love you even when you panic about flying and grip my hand too tight, she responds. I promise to be the person you saw in me before I saw it in myself. I promise to be your partner in all things, the good, the bad, and the weird. We exchange rings and the officiant pronounces us married. The kiss is perfect. Not too short, not too long, just right. Everyone cheers and we walk back down the aisle as a married couple. Reception is at the same venue, just cocktails and appetizers. First dance is to some indie song Emily picked that I'd never heard before. I'm not a good dancer, I warn her. Just sway and pretend nobody's watching. Everyone is definitely watching. We sway awkwardly and I step on her foot twice. Sorry. It's fine, you're doing great, speeches happen during dinner. My mom talks about how proud she is and cries through the entire thing. Emily's dad welcomes me to the family and makes a joke about how he'll hurt me if I hurt his daughter. Everyone laughs, but I think he's 60% serious. Derek somehow gets the microphone. I just want to say that seeing these two together gives me hope. If this guy can find love, then anyone can. Thanks, Derek. Very touching, I say sarcastically. No, but seriously, you guys are great together, and I'm happy for you both. The party ends around 11 p.m. and we go back to our apartment. We're married, Emily says while flopping on the couch. We are. Yeah, how does it feel? Exactly the same, but also completely different. We spend our wedding night eating leftover cake and watching TV with meatball between us. This is perfect, I say. It really is. Honeymoon is next week. We're going to Japan, which is my idea. I want to see all the anime locations in real life, I explain. You're such a nerd. You married this nerd. I did, and I'd do it again. 6 months into marriage, and everything is still good. We have our fights, mostly about stupid stuff, like who forgot to buy milk or why there's dog hair everywhere. But we always work through it. Emily's practice is doing well. She hired an associate therapist to help with the workload. I'm being considered for a regional manager position, which would be another raise. We're talking about buying a house next year. Life isn't perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Sometimes I think about 26-year-old me living in Mom's basement, eating chicken nuggets at 4 a.m. He would never believe where I ended up. My mom randomly texts me one day, "I'm proud of you, honey. You turned your life around." Thanks, Mom. I had a lot of help. You did the hard work. I just gave you a push. A push off a cliff, maybe. Same thing. That night, Emily and I are watching TV when she turns to me. Do you ever think about what your life would be like if I hadn't been your therapist? All the time, I'd probably still be in that basement. You would have figured it out eventually. Maybe, but I'm glad I didn't have to find out. We kiss and Meatball wedges himself between us. The dog is cock-blocking again, I complain. That he just wants attention. This is my life now, and honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. My face when I went from kissless virgin NEET to married homeowner with a career in 2 years. That feeling when you realize the best things in life come from taking chances on yourself even when you're terrified.